Hello, welcome to Mystic Moons. It's early in the morning in the US. As usual, Mystic Moons is awake. So many things are happening at this time and place, regardless if you're in the day sunlight or moonlight. And part of us always exist in the moon. The moon's mystery, the moon's light, the moon's undisclosed realities. Let's think about things for a moment before we really get into what this reading is all about. The Earth is, of course, one of the many planets of the many galaxies in this universe. And sometimes you gotta just think, beyond your town, beyond your city, beyond your house, your domicile, the walls that encase your body. You have to think about where, why, how, purpose, things like that. And then you wonder why some people and some groups act a certain way, in a very offensive, belligerent way, while others in a pacifist way. Or you have to even wonder, even in the peace groups, is there such a thing as peace? Peace. Peace for what? Peace for unity? Peace for exploration? Why have peace when you can have the excitement of blood? Killing. What is it between human beings that make us want to end the others? Are we so xenophobic, so monkey see, monkey do, look in the mirror and see only what we want to see, which is just really extensions of our own selves? Is that it? Is that it that makes us crawl, crave, run, gallop into the abyss, into the killing fields? Why are we so readied to inflict pain and misery upon those that do not do as we tell them to do so? Bullying, manifestos. Do powers, what are empires? What are countries? What are nations? What are people? What are families? Those are the questions we have to ask. What are these things? And tonight, or today, Saturn Day, the day of retrograde, the day of the mysteries, as though they often say Saturn was our moon. Saturn and Earth used to be like this, so they say, until something happened in the universe that expanded it. Or we just put them one over here and one over there. Today, so anyway, we have to think about our mission. What are we here for? Are we here to be murdered or to kill? Let's looking at the smells of incense, the smell of smokes. Other places, the fire is huge. Huge. It's burning and killing and scaring. Fire is such a mystery. You have to wonder which one of the lower gods gave us this gift. This gift of destruction, this gift of light, this gift of warmth. And how are we using fire and smoke? How are we using? All around the planet, we have chaos in pockets that are growing and growing like fungus on steroids. The gates of hell. Hell. What is hell? Hell is not getting what you want. Maybe. But hell is also taking what is not yours, wanting what is not yours, telling, bossing, being. What is hell? Tonight, today, right now, a few hours ago, the United States and Israel attacked Iran. They've been building it up like a case of virus, until the contamination, the level of fever, the fungus, the malaria, the cancer, just became so overflowing it had to strike, erupt. It's like a cesspool that is building, a volcano that is building. It popped. Now they are open. The gates of hell are open right now. Right now is Israel with the United States coordinated attacked Iran. Did Iran attack them? No. But they attacked Iran. First of all, I'm a lover of peace. I believe that on this planet and elsewhere, if you choose to go off planet, that's your business. Go right ahead. There's no first and there's no last. We all have hearts and minds and bodies and souls. Now, if you do not respect others, that's another issue. Which, of course, war and destruction. War is not respecting. War is confiscating. War is a desperate measure. Winners and losers. Are there any winners and losers? Are there any winners? There are losers. Are there any winners in war? Killing. Do you feel so happy if you kill someone? Some people do. Some people go around killing. And then when a collective of these people get together, watch out. And that's the state of where our countries, plural, are at right now. The gates of hell have opened. Do you think? And one thing about Western countries, they think that they are so superior to everyone else. Let's clear the air a bit. Did you hear what I, as a Western person, am saying? Westerners think that they're better, they have the best, they have this and that, and they're so civilized, and they're so that and this and that, and everyone else has to bend the knee. Empires have gone and went, right? And you can also think about the binding and the joining of an empire. How much blood and destruction goes into that empire building and the maintenance of. You often wonder if there is a non-human, and I mean non-human force, that is governing the success of each and every empire that has come into existence. Think about it. Now, we all know there are rituals, blood rituals. We've seen popular culture talk about vampires and zombies and things like that. And there is an element of cannibalism, eating of the flesh, and in vampirism, drinking of the blood, right? We all know that. And there is often talk of blood. You would even think that maybe some non-human force requires this sacrifice, this blood, this destruction, this tearing down. And you can even see the arrogance in some old ancient books of talking about people that they had to be taught a lesson by destruction, by blood, by death, by murder. And there's always groups that will pick up their spears, their clubs, their bombs, and carry out that mission, divine mission. We must protect ourselves. But then again, the rot of this negative pull goes deeper. It goes deep into the hearts of each and every human participating and advocating this destruction of each other. That's when you have hell. What is hell? Well, they're opening now. And if you ever had any wonderment, any apprehension, or even comprehension of what hell is. Well, the gates have opened, and they're opening wider and wider. Some places you can get away with abuse, death and destruction abuse. Other places, it's a little harder to be under the radar, to do it under the sheets, to do it incognito, to do it guerrilla style, sneaky style, which we shouldn't discount the fact that there are a lot of guerrilla action going on, right? We shouldn't. But the gates of hell, and you would think United States is South America. No, right? Venezuela, Colombia, and the United States is like pulling off something with Mexico. Canada hates the United States. Greenland is like, doesn't like the United States. I mean, United States is like, and then there's also African countries, Somalia. Even though there's like some arm twisting going along, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of enemies to have at one time. And then, of course, taking Israel's side, you will also have a number of Middle Eastern countries that have like to stick it to us. That's a lot to have in a country that is ill prepared in financial trouble. And you can see this Iran is going to be like, taking from the American point of view, the politicians in Iran will never become nuclear. Ditto, Earth calling these people, Earth base or Moon base or Mars base, that we're talking about a very sophisticated country. They act like the United States feels that Iran is some kind of backwards hillbilly, a moonshine, beating on the drums, savages. We're primitive, primates. Yes, we're all primates on one level, but Iran is extremely sophisticated, extremely scientific, and it has been pulling off physics, material, astro, biophysics a long time, way before the United States. In fact, look at the records of any school 20 years ago, and whom do you find a plethora of students, or the majority of students were many of them were Iranians. Now they should be, 30, 40s, whatever age. Well, to say that they're backwards and stupid and behind the times is a misstatement. You're taking on more, and then you also have their alliances. Now, right now we have more war with China. We have Afghanistan and Pakistan going at it. Wars, world wars, chaos, right? And then we also have the explosive combination of India and Pakistan over Kashmir, of course. And there are a number of other things too. And in fact, we can count on these power cakes and just this fact of saying these things. So we're getting back to the United States. The United States is in a hellhole, making itself surrounded with only its talk. And of course, it's phallus state, it's missiles, it's bombs, it's weapons, it's hidden. I won't tell you about these drones, even though it's been a year now, these drones and vehicles that are defying what we know in this country anyway, and several other countries, defies physics. Now, the United States is so sure of itself. Well, we're not the only ones that have weapons. We're not the only ones that have this and that, but we may be the only ones that are morally pushed, morally degraded enough to do these type of things and to think that the other is backwards. Thank you for the likes. Is backwards and not up to par, because we are the only ones. When you downgrade your enemies or the people that don't agree with you, you've lost. You've lost the battle. It's only a question of time. At least give your adversaries, your enemies, your antis, your anti-followers, credit, more credit than they actually do have would be the safe zone, because then you can doubly prepare before you shoot off your big mouth and move and press your buttons and have no plan. Now, what is the plan? The no plan. It doesn't make any sense, right? No plan. What is the plan? To become a mighty controller of Earth? to placate out of otherworldly aliens? What is the plan? To subjugate the world to a state? Now, right now in the Middle East, they're trying to, everything is like, becoming nuclear. United States, UAE, United Arab Emirates are formed an alliance along with Israel. Now, how is that going to work out? So, Saudi has formed an alliance with Pakistan. How is that going to work out? Right? And then there's Turkey. And then there's Jordan. You have little states the size of like New Jersey, a couple of 100 miles, against huge countries. Now, how many people are willing to lose their lives for people they can't even pronounce their names all over the world, right? And then again, you still have Ukraine and Russia going on and on and on and on and on. The gates of hell have opened all over the place. Where can you go for refuge? Where can you go for contemplation? And do you trust people who can't even, like in the United States, they can't even persecute child killers, pedophiles. They can't even name the names. They can't even, the abuse of personage that do not have rank or clout or age to protect themselves, that are all of a sudden going to go around and tell the rest of the world how to be. Do you see? I mean, all in the acquisition of gold, money. And this morning, right now, attacks. Tehran is being attacked all across the nation of Iran. Do you think they're going to sit tight? Do you think they're going to suck it up and just allow themselves to be taken into a new Gaza? Do we have the right? Does Israel and the United States have the right to tell another country to whom should be their leader? Some puppeteer, and every leader is answering to the Gang of 12. The Gang of 12, the 12 riches, the 12 who push the buttons, the 12 who hold back and govern and keep everybody's mind controlled. You think about all these things. I mean, World War I, what did it show us? World War II, what did it show us? Did we really win? Ask yourself the question, did the United States really win World War II? Did the Allies win? Did they really win? Maybe they just squired some intelligence of certain people. In NASA, it was hard to find somebody a few years ago. This is the original NASA, United States, without a German accent. Where did those scientists go to? Where did that technology go to? And how come after the Second World War we had the huge continent of Antarctica off limits, a militarized zone, keep off? Many mysteries on this planet. We don't even know what's in the ocean. All we know is like what? One or two ancient books that say, do this, do that. That many of the chapters of these ancient books are kept in secret. Even like the Bible, which they say this is end days because it is coming the blood moon right now, and all the 6 planets in alignment, in a retrograde. We're told that A blood moon is supposed to be the sign of an apocalypse, the end of. No, it's not the end of. It's never going to be the end of. No, it's not the end of. But somebody, something, some organization is playing on people's fears. Fears. Nothing can make you more scared shitless if you see somebody next to you who is blown to bits, right? Blown to bits. And you see your home destroyed. Everything that you counted as yours became nothing but charcoal. Gates of hell. Gates of hell. Now, do we all want to be like Kiev, Gaza? Huh? Do we all want to have bombs go off? Is this what we need to keep the pedophiles, the cannibals, the bloodsuckers, the people that there's no satisfaction, whatever they need some excitement. They feel this earth is not for everyone. The people that want us to drink worm goo. All right. Let's take a reading and let's just see the gates of hell, because, we've gone too far. We've gone too far. And can it be pushed back in? Can it be pushed back in? Gates of hell. Gates of hell are open. Now, let's see this one. Gates of hell. Does that mean the demons are just running around going, arc, arc? Or the aliens that are back, some alien demonic, and I mean low energy force, wanting to see us quibble and squabble, so we won't collect our powers? We're not here to be physically, giants. We're not physical giants. But we have some part of us called a soul, called meaning, called a spirit. The human spirit, we have a part to play. And just because we're like naked little creatures with super attitudes does not mean that we are weak, or that it's easier to kill than to love, than to build. It's easier to hate. Now, these are all the parts of the gates of hell. Killing, hating, destruction. I'm going to get them before they get me. I want what's in your house to be mine. That's the gates of hell. And there's no restraint. Now, let's see here. In the Knight of Cups, the drink of blood, the drink of vampires. The Knight of Cups. Will you take this blood oath? Will you drink this sorrow? Would you drink this intoxicating narcotic to kill, to maim, and join us in this power-hungry grab? The Knight of Cups. I would say this Knight of Cups is not one of rationality, madness. This cup of madness. Drink this mad potion, the Knight of Cups. It will give you strength. It will give you strength. You will become stronger than any. Get into this chaos of madness, of destruction. Be dragons. Maybe we have to be strong. We can't succumb to madness, to insanity. Oh, yeah, they must. Oh. No, we have to think, and feel. Is this what we're here for? To destroy and to kill? Are we killers? Are we lovers? And here we have temperance. Temperance is slow down, be strong. The gates of hell are not there. They can be shut. They can be closed. Who has the strength among you to stand up and bellow, yell, scream for peace? You don't expect people to like chop off your fingers, and you're not going to stick out there and give them your arm and still put a smile on their kisser. Do you think so? It doesn't happen that way. You chop somebody up slowly, or piece by piece by piece, you dissect them. Don't expect the others to watch and go, when's my turn? When's my turn? Or maybe somebody's getting a message from some alien force, some out non-human force. They want a ritual. They want blood. Are you prepared to give them your blood, your sacrifice, your participation in this madness? Or is this an action of cowards, of wounded people? Of wounded people. We'll get them before they get us. So why should I go to work when I could just go go to the boss and just clap him over the head and take what he has. Then I have myself. I mean, do you understand where this can trickle down to? You have something that I want, so bang, bang over the head. This Neanderthal beast mentality, which a lot of people think if you do not have lots of dough, lots of assets, you're a beast. You're worthless. You're a beast. A pause. A pause. We have the Four of Cups. Gates of hell. The gates of hell. Well, we have the cup of madness being offered. We have, for those who are weak, for those who do not have strength, for those who are strong, have temperance. Wait. But how can you have cooler heads when you have this insanity going on? That's the thing that we have to see about. When you have nuttiness, not even nuttiness, this is brutality. This is the turning point. When you attack country after country after country after country, what is the goal? I asked you, what is the goal? Nazis, the word Nazi. Now, there's a strange, one thing you realize, I think everybody realizes, one story and there's another story. And the victor gets to write the lyrics or writes the copy of the story, right? The victor. And then when you hear about people that history is a strange thing. Like you could say, there's so many things that are duplicit, or so many things that are etchy, sketchy. And it depends who has the money to record the history and drown out all the other powers. I remember when internet was first coming around in the United States, this was scrubbed. But in the state of Texas, during the Civil War, there was one country, one state around Texas area that blacks and whites, there was no slavery, in which the other states had slavery, and the blacks, whites, Indians, everybody got along. However, that didn't fit the character of what the PR, the marketing, was all about. That the cavalry went in there and they decimated that whole area and scrubbed it. Maybe you'll find it in some out, like Canada, someplace, but you won't find it available. That history of that state, the freedom state. Most people don't even know about it. And then you hear about things that they're like doing and reinventing and this and that. This is what you have to be cautious about. This is where you need to have temperance about. Now, The gates are open the gates of hell are open. They're open. They're open. And it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. The first thing, we're never going to wait. How long is this truce? Can there be a truce? Can there be a Four of Cups? Or maybe the Four of Cups. Could there be a truce? The Four of Cups until something major happens, because you can't change evil. You can't change evil. Chaos. You can only add to it or shut it down. Who has the power to shut it down? Our administration, our government, the United States? No. The United States is like following the leadership of almost a possessed group of people. The leadership is possessed by what? Again, you have to put into mind the Epstein files. The Epstein files is not about simply some rich guys taking advantage of some teenagers. No, it's far darker, far darker. It is the basis of a lot of things. A lot of people have been murdered because of this. What's happened with the Epstein? A lot of people have ties. A lot of people did some naughty things. I mean, more than naughty, atrocious things, evil things. Why? And to keep these things quiet, many people, you take even the leader of the United States has been mentioned in the Epstein files 43,000 times. And then we have not the backbone. The people do not have the backbone to find out the rot that has been infested in our beautiful country. All countries are beautiful. And they each have their own stigma and rot. That once they go to warfare, they go insane, like fire ants, like bugs. Why are they so crazy? Because who would follow their madness? Now, there are a group of people, a huge amount of people, that they don't want to know nothing. No, I don't want to know nothing, as they would say. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Because knowledge is burdensome. Knowledge makes you think a few times, right? And that maybe when you obtain knowledge, you have to admit that you were lacking, that you needed, that you did not possess the brains, the knowledge, the thoughts of which you now possess. Nothing becomes something with humility and learning. And that's what we're here for, to use. That's why we have physical bodies, not to be splattered goo on some scoreboard. All right. Now, what are we going to wait for, right? The gates of hell are already opened. They're opening. Is the United States. Where are we going with this? Let's see, this one. Where are Israel going with this? They want everything. And what is this whole thing? Now, you know that Israel was only established, let's see, in the 40s. Right? In the 40s. A small little size of New Jersey state, right? New Jersey. New Jersey is a tiny little state in the United States. And this one country, which is, you have Semitic people in the, Arabics, stuff like that. People like that. Excuse me for saying stuff like that. But people that go back to hundreds and hundreds of years in that area. And Israel was a lot of European-based people, DNA, went to Israel based on the religion and traits. But what is the goal here? What is the goal? You're going to have the whole world subjugated under AI with P's and Q's and surveillance states. And then you're going to have a class like Hunger Games that are going to go around and enjoy the sweat and the hunt of making sure that the masses, the populations of the world, did what they were told to do. What for? Dig potatoes, empty sewer lines, things like that. Crap. Right? Is this the society that's going to get us a status, place, from a zero type planet to a 2 to a 5-star planet? There are planets that are watching us, right? Now, you're not so much into thinking that this, what we see here in front of our 3D worlds, 3D eyes, this is it. It's not it. It's not it. You can even ask yourself, why are they keep chemtrailing the skies all over the world with throwing heavy metals in the sky? What for? All these things we should be asking and demanding answers and stopping everything until we get adequate, not curtains, Oz behind the curtains. No. What are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? Destruction of everything? Now, humans are extremely resilient, and we've been trying, I'm going to put they, have been trying to exterminate us on many times, many levels. And yes, we have lost thousands and millions of people. And we have more to worry about than ourselves, our little individual countries. We have this universe to find out just what do they think of us and who's been playing poker, who's been playing Russian roulette with us, which is part of these wars. Now, somebody is so running into World War III, a little nuke here, a little nuke there. Now, this is where this whole thing is at, right? This whole garbage mentality. The wait. What is this wait for? Waiting. Gates of hell. All right. The King of Wands. Woo. Is that we're waiting for the big one? The big fire? The big bang? Perhaps we're going to wait for? Without saying a word, without doing a word, without having any type of cognitive, intelligent movement? The war. The war. Okay? The boogeyman. Look at this vile looking dragon. The King of Wands. The fire element. Yes, take a look. All right. The next one we got. The moon. The result of the fire, the wars, still not etched permanently. No. Who's to know who the victor is? Who's to know except for the very somebody who just thinks there's too many people? Depopulation. Depopulation. So no matter what side you are, you can reduce the amount of humans. Humans. Doesn't matter what dress they wear, what God they profess to believe in, or what their theological beliefs are. It doesn't matter. It just the only thing that matters to this force that's surrounding this entire globe is to reduce the heartbeat. That's one thing that we can be assured of will happen in this unfinished sentence. The gates of hell. Look at this. The 10 of Cups. The victor, the victory, the intoxicating madness pull. The gates of hell. The intoxicating portals. Somebody's happy. Somebody's happy. Somebody's insanely happy. The more that we destroy each other, hell is happy. Hell. Hell is laughing. Hell wants this. And then we have the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups. And the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups. Could this be United States and Israel? Could this be sanity versus madness? Or sanity and madness? Two of Cups. No, it's not sanity and madness. No. The groups. Peace and war. Peace. Can peace unite? What can nourish? What can put the fire out? What can put this King of Wands fire? The war, the hellgate, the uncertainty. 10 of Cups. 2 of Cups. You wonder if this 10 of Cups is not the same thing as the 2 of Cups. Who can put this war out? Who can get rationality here? What can? Or who is on this planet creating such havoc, such chaos? Who is opening the doors of hell? The portals to hell. Who? You know, if we think about where it's going, think about it. Really focus where it's going. Now, no matter how you feel about the people of the countries involved, the United States, Israel, and Iran, the peoples of these three countries, it's irregardless. Think about why. Think about if you would like to see your home like that. Think about if you were in any position to experience that. And why? 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 That's an important question. Why? Why is all this chaos here now? Why is all the chaos being pushed? Why? Has the land become so much more valuable? The water so much more drinkable? Why is this chaos? Why are these hell portals being open. Why? Our answer is in the why. The why. Who benefits? Who benefits from this chaos? And then ask why. And what do they gain? And salvation, paradisia, paradise, heaven, a place in heaven, or a place in hell. What are they doing this for? Greed? Certainly not a virtuous reasoning for this hell, the gates of hell. It's destruction, death. It's happening. It's happening. Think about it, the reason why and who benefits. Who benefits from this destruction? Who benefits? And what do they gain? Do you want some of what they gain if you were offered it? Blood for blood. Think about it as you experience the screams, the terror, the vibrations of the gates of hell opening. Thank you very much for the likes, and you're welcome. Thank you, Changes. Thank you very much. You're welcome. This is a tense situation. We have to watch it. We have to watch it. Of course, we must watch it. We must not ignore this situation. Don't ignore it because it'll be in your backyard soon enough.